guys, my name is Marty, aka CrypticExistence, and today I'm bringing you the first part of 3 videos that we'll be putting together. And what it is class setups for your League play games. I might do a 4th part eventually for pub, but I've just set up some classes for League and keeping in mind the pace of games and things and what's important in those game modes. So I'm going to have a bit of a chat about what we need to do in League to get effective classes. So before we look at the actual class, let's look at Scorestreaks. I'm running Hellstorm, Lightning, and Sentry, and the reason being for Hardpoint you need to run these because the game mode's really intense and you don't want to take yourself out of the game by using an RCXD. So that's really the first 3 lowest score streaks that you can be running, and I think once you start getting higher levels, these are more effective than running these really high score streaks like the Warthog and things that just don't do as much as you need them to for the points. 1400, I can almost overlap my Sentry twice and put 2 extra players on the map. So Hellstorm and Lightning's pretty much a given. I always use them. The Sentry sometimes changes out for a Stealth Chopper. Now, I've seen some people run something like the Death Machine or even the War Machine. The thing about them is it kind of takes you out of the game and puts you as a big target. I like Sentry because what that does is actually put a new player on the map. So it's really good for controlling spawns as well if you want to use it as your anchor. So we'll have a look at the Hardpoint setup. Now, I've got all my class set up separately, so we'll look at Hardpoint first, and first one is a Remington. I hate the Remington myself, but the reason I run it is it's a gun that allows me to free up an extra EMP grenade, and you need that for things like sentries and such that come out occasionally. So I've got the Remington camo, whatever you want. It doesn't really matter on Hardpoint. On other game modes it might. Laser sight and long barrel mainly get a little bit more range with your long barrel, and the laser just get things a little bit more accurate for your hip firing, and in line with that you kind of need to have hip fire if you're sprinting like I obviously am. I'm running lightweight and extreme conditioning. Obviously this is a class to get me into hard points quickly. My flak jacket is to try and stay alive and be immune to those nades that are going to come flying in, which they always do, and dexterity just to pick up that gun that little bit quicker and hopefully win that gunfight before the other person shoots you. No perk 2. Next class is called Long, and this is because I use it for long lines of sight type maps. Raid is a good one because it's actually surprisingly got long lines of sight, which an AR is really effective for. So AN-94 is just a beast of a weapon. It's got some huge specs, and if you can put it on target, it's really good. Now to help me put it on target, I'm using the reflex. And the stock is just to move better. ARs are relatively slow, so that's why I've got the lightweight and again extreme conditioning on there, because those are really important to get moving really well. Flak jacket to stay alive in those grenade spots, and toughness just to get those bullets on point a little bit more. Like if you get shot from a long range with a little SMG, you're likely to win the gunfight because it's not going to kick up too much. Dexterity, obviously just to pull it up a little bit quicker. It's a very slow gun to pull up because it's an AR. It's nowhere near as effective as SMGs at close range, so you want to be getting it up as quickly as possible. The next one's called Short, and that's because it's an absolutely brutal weapon if you're at close quarters, and it's good for really tight hard points and things. So focusing on getting into the hard point, I've got lightweight and extreme conditioning. They get you straight in there. Now, what's important is to then, a gun with this fire rate is to then win those gunfights, and you can only do it if you hit your bullets. So I've got laser so that it brings in that crosshairs a little bit and helps you hit a little bit more. Long barrel helps you hit that long range with a little bit more, punch, power. An extended clip because the clip just runs out ridiculously quick, and without it, it's so tough to win a gunfight when you're reloading. Got dexterity because you want to get that gun up quickly, and toughness is important because if a gun fires at this rate, if you get shot and miss your target, you use half your clip just trying to pull it back on the target, which is really bad if there's multiple enemies. Mid is exactly that, something with mid lines of sight. Standoff's actually a pretty good one for the MSMC. MSMC is a really good gun, but I find it obviously doesn't have the fire rate of the Scorpion, so mid-range is really effective, and it's even more effective with long barrel. Laser sight because you just want to have a closer if you are hip firing, you want to have a better rate at hitting your opponents. And as with a lot of hardpoint modes, I'm running my lightweight and extreme conditioning. Because you just need to be able to get there quickly. If you're not playing objective, you're going to lose. And if you're in the objective, you probably want to be running some sort of flak jacket or something. Toughness is really good with SMGs so that you're not missing your targets. And extreme conditioning, these guns come up so quick and they kill so effectively at close range. If you're running dexterity, it helps you hit those bullets a lot quicker. And finally, in my hardpoint setup, I'm running the douchebag class. I've talked about this a lot in my videos lately, and actually, if I'm doing really bad, this is what I pull out, and the reason being is it's just so hard to compete with its... this gun just melts people. It's ridiculous. So, target finder, let's just find everyone, mow them down as quickly as possible, and then the gun is slow, so I've got stock and quick draw. Bring it up quickly and still be able to move, and with that you need to complement it with lightweight. If you're not running lightweight, you feel like you're stuck in mud. It's horrid. Toughness, you just don't want to miss, because if you can just melt the people and move on, it helps a lot. Dexterity, you need to complement that quick draw by bringing it up as quickly as possible. Then we've got the grenade and the EMP grenade. Mainly, this class usually comes out if we're getting thumped and I need to try and take out like a sentry gun or something. This gun or my shotgun class comes out depending on how good the opponents are. So, guys, thanks so much. That's the first of 3 in the League series. I hope you've enjoyed. Make sure you hit like, you're subscribing if you want to see the rest of them, and feel free to put down any comments as to what your setup is, or if you think that I would benefit with something else. Some of my mates have recommended quick draw on some of my SMGs in past, but I find it almost comes up too quick, and it hurts my playing ability. But if you think I'll benefit with something else, hit me up and let me know. I'll give it a go, and if it all goes well, I'll give you a shout out or something. So look, guys, thanks so much. Don't forget to subscribe, and check out the video in the trailer. I don't know what it's going to be yet, but give it a click and check it out if you haven't seen it yet. Cheers, guys.